Well, I'll tell you that Liberia's Joint Presidential Transitional Team has held its first meeting, and that was what we told you earlier, talking about the transitioning from the administration of George Weah to Joseph Boakai, who won the presidential election in Liberia. And now, at this point, I'm being joined by Samuel James Kpartor, who is the National Program Manager, Federation of Liberian Youth, FLY, as it's called, and coordinator of the Youth Elections Situation Room. Thank you so much, Samuel, at this time for talking to us.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon.
So can you tell us about the transitional team of the Liberian president and what is expected in terms of plans and preparations towards handing over the reign of powers to Joseph Boakai?
So essentially, in line with the constitution that says that the president, when transitioning, shall ensure that that transition is smooth, the president signed an executive order appointing a joint presidential transitional team to comprise members of his cabinet and members recommended by the president-elect Joseph Boakai, jointly form a team and prepare a smooth transition, from discussing everything around security, the economy, and other relevant issues that pertain to the transition. So the president appointed his members and the members of the secretariat, and the president-elect also appointed members from his team to also be members of the transitional team. And so far, Liberians have shown nothing but gratitude and have been very impressed with the makeup of the president-elect transitional team members.
So, according to election observers, we were told that Liberian youths largely participated in this presidential election, and their contribution formed the crux of this political trajectory. Of course, a new dispensation that we are seeing that will come into place in Liberia. So, what are their expectations from Joseph Boakai about the time he assumes office?
Well, it is hoped that his presidency will focus on one, rejuvenating and reviving the economy, to job creation, and really focus on the issue of roads. A major part of the country is cut off from the rest of the country because of bad roads. That is the southeastern region of Liberia, and for decades upon decades, leaderships have been impossible. I mean, it's been impossible for leaderships in the past to connect the country to the other part of Liberia. So the young people are really hoping that the new president will not only open the road going to the southeastern part of Liberia, but the focus will be on reviving the economy, creating the enabling conditions for investments to come in, have job opportunities for young people, and improve the quality of education that Liberians are currently getting.
Yes, one major issue that came to bear during the, of course, before, during, and after elections in Liberia was the issue of the mismanagement of the Liberian economy by the George Weah administration. I'd like you to just shed more light on that and how that played a critical role in the loss, of course, at the presidential polls for George Weah.
So from what we've gathered so far, a lot of people have been frustrated by the fact that they've been investigations, they've been audit reports out, but yet and still there've been no prosecution from the part of the government of Liberia. In fact, people had expected that when George Weah took office in 2018, he would have investigated and audited past government officials that were involved in anything related to corruption. So where people are optimistic or hoping that the new government that comes to power will not only investigate corruption but prosecute past government officials that have, who might have been seen corrupt, in any way possible. Going with impunity has been seen. There's been a lot of mysterious deaths under President Weah. There's been a lot of, cases of corruption, from the 16 billion that was allegedly missing to a 25 million mop-up exercise. So a lot of monies went on unaccounted for, and investigations were conducted, but no one was held liable. No one was prosecuted. So if you look at even the members of the president-elect's transitional team, you have one of our former Auditor General, John Molu, who was one of the most critical Auditor Generals that we've ever had in our history. The president-elect's team also have three former finance ministers. which means he takes the issue of the economy very, very seriously. And also other members of his team are also people who've outrightly spoken about corruption, spoken about the issue of war and economic code. And so we're hoping to see a lot of great things from the new president. But again, we've been told to manage our expectations. So I'm very, very sure that the Liberian youth are going to be looking up to the new leadership for optimum transformation and change.
So for how long do you think the Liberian youths would be patient enough to see some sort of transformation in the country's economic landscape? I mean, they couldn't allow George Weah to be re-elected. Well, of course, you would have expected that he's given that opportunity to see how in the re-election it can change the status quo in terms of the Liberian economy. So for how long do you think the Liberian youths will be willing to wait to see a change come?
Well, I think firstly, we're going to have to be patient and wait and see the nature of the first set of appointments that the new president is going to make. So his first few cabinet ministers are going to give us the impression on whether or not they're going to be patient with the new government or whether they're going to wait and see. The different stances, the stance is going to take on corruption. It also going to give us, a taste or feel of what his leadership will be like or what it will look like. And also, we'll be hoping to see the president's overall plan and agenda for the country, because a lot of international organizations and partners will be waiting to see the strategic direction of the government before they can adjust to that strategic direction for their own development plans. So we'll be waiting to see what sort of plan they will have or what sort of plan they have, so as well as, that will further inform us or tell the Liberian people, okay, based on this plan, this is how long we think we need to wait. But everything will be geared up to see what plans the new president will have for the Liberian based on his campaign messaging and every other thing. We know that he will focus on corruption. We know that he will focus on agriculture. We know he will focus on roads, and all these things are boosters for economic development and growth.
Well, Samuel James Kpartor, thank you so much for talking to us at this time.
Thank you.